Right.
Don't know you want
Are
to
you
start
ready?
it. Yeah.
First of all, good morning. How are we doing?
Good morning. Good, thank you.
Perfect. Right. So I think where we should start is a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background. What is your role within Residual? Obviously, there's a strategic team, there's a leadership team. I've got to know you guys over the past couple of months, but what is your role specifically within the team?
Yes, well, I'm doing a bit more of this media stuff lately, so I've had to come out from my cave. I chief strategy officer at Residual.ie, which someone asked me actually at the weekend. He said, "What does strategy look like in that company?"
What does it mean?
Yeah, because it's a bit of a buzzword, right? It's like
Yep.
a bit of a kind of you can hide behind that word, I think.
For sure.
So for me personally, I came from a completely different background before I ever got into this dark arts. I was actually a teacher, and I was teaching in the UK, and I was in senior leadership at primary level, and took a complete U-turn in my career and got into marketing and business development. Noticing that I kind of didn't like teaching, but I really liked solving problems. So when I got into senior leadership, I used to really just enjoy looking at data, looking from a high level at what's going on, trying to fix problems and spot trends and join the dots and think about, okay, if this then that and what happens there, and I had a knack for it, you know. The inputs I was putting in were definitely having an effect, and it was working. And but yeah, the school environment wasn't for me. I just kind of ended up doing it, and I took a U-turn, like I said, and I went and I took a leap, and I went and joined a wonderful company. Yeah, a massive leap of faith. I went and joined a wonderful business coaching company in the UK called Expert Empires, where I was mentored by some awesome people, Nick James, Adam Ashman, and I learnt the craft. Full stack marketing, full stack strategy, full stack just in the deep end, on the good wishes of people who took a chance on me, basically. And then it paid off, and that company grew and went well. And then I ended up leaving to do my own thing, set up my own consultancy, started working with clients all over the world. Very industry agnostic, which I realized over time. I think I was in denial in the beginning. I had to come out the closet and be honest with myself that I'm not tied to any particular industry. I feel like I can kind of travel beyond them all. I've worked in pretty much everything. So the classic coaching, consulting, business growth scene, which I came from, into fitness, wellness, pharmaceuticals, nanopharma, biotech, fintech, standard, finance, financial advisories, real estate. Oh God, everything. There's like a bit of everything. SaaS, e-commerce.
Yep.
And I just enjoyed getting stuck in. What happened was we kind of as a family decided that we wanted to move out of the UK. We've been having that discussion for a very long time.
And whereabouts in the UK were you?
So I was based in just south of Birmingham, so Solihull. So I'm from Somerset originally. My wife's from London, but we were settled in Solihull. A lovely place, honestly, really lovely place. We had a lovely home, lovely neighbours and everything, and the kids were happy. But I think in terms of when you're thinking with your business hat on, and when you're thinking with your growth mindset. Settings switched on, it didn't feel like we were in the right environment for what we want to do or what we could potentially achieve. So a move was necessary, and so we came to Dubai.
The land of all the opportunity.
The land of kind of probably the new America, I'd say. It's like the new. I always say it's the city of dreams. It's a little bit cringe, but I
think it's spot on, right? It is the new land of the dreams.
I think
for
so.
Sure.
I think so. It's everyone here is working on something at some level, right? Like no one's here just kind of just taking time.
It's an intense place, isn't it? Right? It can, as well as it can be a great opportunity, it can also spit you out if you're not willing to put in the graft and
100%,
not commit. So yeah,
100%. And I was actually I'd never been to Dubai, so I was very I wasn't up to speed on it, and I knew some people that had moved here and were living here, but I had no interest personally, and my wife was pushing me no, Dubai. And so I came out here a couple of times
Yep.
with a friend, stayed with a friend of mine who was also like a client at the time, working
Yep.
with him. And the opportunity came to just move here. So I took the leap and brought the family, and that was the end of it. And got started to focus all my efforts into this region, because previously I was working with a lot of Europeans, Americans, Brits.
And was there a particular reason why? Were you connecting more with people in this region?
I think this region has so much opportunity that you don't need to look outside of it. And another thing with this region is, just because of where it's located, if you're working with US clients, and so the time zones don't work. So it made a lot of sense to put focus on the local market, which is already booming and growing, and the kind of the local region like GCC,
so the Middle
Saudi
East as a whole.
Arabia.
Yep.
And you're well connected to Asia here as well. So I wanted to go all in on the local market, and one thing leads to another, and I'm the chief strategy officer at Residual. So yeah.
Perfect. Well, Residual's just celebrated its birthday. It's now 3 years old.
It is.
If you look back to when you joined the team, what do you think's changed about the business? What do you think's changed about the market? What's changed about yourself? I think it'd be good to understand that a little bit, and the sort of that period between then to now.
Yeah, so Residual's 3 years old, which is really interesting because it's only recently people have started to say, "Oh, I've heard of you guys," and what is it you guys do? And they think it's a new thing. I was on the radio the other day, and it was like, this is a new thing, but we're 3 years old as a company, right?
Yeah.
So we've been in the market for 3 years, and the origin of this business started years ago in the UK.
Sure.
So Daniel McNeil, one of the co-founders, this was a model that he was working on in the UK, and it went well. And then he came to Dubai with that dream of, I want to do the same thing in Dubai. I want to be able to help property owners renovate their properties, sell for more. We won't buy the property, but we'll fund the renovation, and let's do that. Which in the UK is a model that is tough to pull off.
For sure.
Because the market doesn't move fast enough. Yeah. It's very expensive to get work done. So it's a great model, but it needs the right environment to really work. So he came to Dubai, and obviously after a couple of years met his business partner and started Residual. So they had they've been in the lab, let's say. Yeah. So the way I frame it is, I joined the company back in the sort of mid to late 2024.
Sure.
In like a consulting role. And initially the problem they had was, look, we've got this model. We've proven that it works.
So you've done the proof of concept, yeah.
Done the proof of concept. We know the market's there. The problem is we don't know how to get our business out there. We don't know how to get this company, the visions that they had are the visions they still have, which is to be a household name.
And was that in terms of looking for projects to onboard? Or was it looking for capital to raise? What was it they were struggling to obtain or needed some more strategy behind it?
I'd say it's mostly for projects, right?
Okay.
Like capital is always a thing, but it's quite an exciting opportunity for investors. So raising capital is probably the least of the worries. It's more, how can we get property owners coming to us rather than us going to them?
So you can pick the best opportunities to
exactly, right?
Sure.
And in the beginning, like Dubai is such a relationship-driven place.
For sure.
It's all about who you know, what do they say about you, how long have you been doing it, can you prove it? There's a lot of that, and the sales cycles here take longer. You have to do the coffees and the dinners, and
it's a different way of doing things, right?
It's a different way.
It's a different way of doing things.
It's a different way of doing business. So coming from the West, it's very like point blank, like, are we going to work together or not?
Yeah.
We don't need to be friends. Here, it takes longer, but that's actually a nice thing. And so they'd done all of that, but they were like, this way of doing it isn't scalable because it's not quick enough. We need to be able to generate projects as soon as possible. We need to be able to onboard owners. We need to be able to deploy capital elsewhere. So it was very clear that they needed a rebrand, a reposition, and a proper go-to-market strategy.
Sure.
Which I love the fact that the model had already been proven, because one of the worst go-to-market strategies is that you're going to market to prove a concept.
Correct. Yep.
And you're putting all your eggs into this, and you're really like pumped, because you can MVP things in a much cleaner, safer environment and not waste everyone's time and money, right?
Yeah.
So there was an exciting opportunity. So I got involved, which has now escalated to being one of the big dogs.
Yeah, for sure.
And but we looked at the company and said, look, we need to make this a Dubai brand. We need to make this like a UAE Dubai brand. Which is why Residual became residual.ae.
Yep.
So we went and got that domain. And then we needed to have a clear tagline and a clear hook and a clear mechanism. So out of all the different things that Residual can do with property owners, the one thing that really makes sense is what we call the assisted sale.
Yep.
So JVing with the property owner, funding the renovation, having the property sold, the owner gets the original value, the funder Residual gets their renovation investment,
Yep.
and then the upside is split. It's pre-agreed, whatever that was.
Sure.
So it's been different things. It's
Win-win
been
for both parties. Yep.
Yeah, pro rata, whatever it is. So it was like, how can we position that model? I remember we had a few meetings where we were like digging into this, workshops, and we just came up with this tagline: renovate your property for free.
Pretty good tagline.
Which is a good tagline because everyone always says, what do you mean it's free?
Yeah.
Is it a scam? We get all those kind of questions.
I remember the first time we reached out to you, and I think it was the same realization. It was, okay, come on, this is too good to be true, right? Renovate your property for free. Where's the catch? And then I remember that first meeting, sitting down with yourself and Dan, and sort of hearing the pitch a little bit more, or the company ethos, or the background information on the company and how it works, the joint ventures, and taking it. And it was one of those pinch me moments. It was, why is no one else doing this? Why did I not think of this idea? And why does everyone not know about it? And I think knowing you guys now for a few months, I've definitely noticed the difference when I talk to people about what you guys do. People actually now know who you are. Mm-hmm. And I think when we first started kicking off working together, I did have to explain, this is Residual, this is what they do. That's definitely shifted in the past few months. I've definitely noticed that.
We've found that as well, and it's very purposeful. So we did the whole repositioning of the company. So we gone with this hook: renovate your property for free.
Yep.
Now, obviously, you could say, if you put your skeptical hat on, that that's a little bit misleading because there's a catch, and they say, what's the catch? Well, the catch is you have to sell it.
Yep.
So the full tagline would be renovate for free, sell for more. But it doesn't rhyme with residual.ae.
It doesn't have the same ring to it, no.
Renovate your property for free, residual.ae. And so what we lead with is the mechanism. The mechanism is a free renovation.
Yep.
So you're always looking, when you do offer optimization, or the mechanics of how offers work, you always zoom out and you look at all the different moving parts and how they all work together. And you have the unique mechanism that basically is the secret sauce. And the secret sauce here is it's a free renovation. The property owner doesn't have to pay anything. They don't have to do anything. For us as a company, we don't have to buy the property either.
Yep.
So we're not getting tied up in all this capital heavy stuff where we can't deploy funds and we're stuck in a property, we're paying fees, and we're not doing that.
Yep.
The owner's not having to pay anything themselves. You have a lovely agreement, and they want to sell their property or they're considering, and we come in and say, hey, look, based upon market data, which is independently verified and checked, this is what your property is worth. We believe, based upon market trends and our experience and all the data that we can bring, we believe that your property can sell for this.
Sure.
If we invest this much in a renovation across this timeline. And of course, if they're happy with that, then we move ahead. So we lead with the mechanism, which I like. So the hook is the mechanism, and for anyone who's into marketing, that's a great way of setting things up. Is think about what the mechanism is and put that in the hook. So that was that, and yeah, I mean, we did the rebrand repositioning, and then we did a soft launch. Mm-hmm. So earlier this year, it was around about March, April, we went live with a small ad campaign, the new website, and we were just inundated with leads. Yeah, it was just insane. Like we were turning people away. Obviously, not every lead is a good lead, and that's just how it works, If it's a studio apartment somewhere, we're not interested because the upside for us is not going to, and even the upside for the owners is not going to be worth anyone's time. But we were inundated, and we were like, wow, okay, this is so exciting, and we had to switch everything off. And then obviously over the summer, we had to do like a bit of a plan where it was like, okay, going into the rest of this year, when Dubai picks up again, because it goes quiet over the summer, what do we want to do? And one of the big things we wanted to do was PR and media. And obviously we engaged you guys, and you've done a great job at that. We've gone across the radio, so Virgin Radio, Dubai Eye. We've sponsored events like the the boxing match, which we'll talk about. And we've been in some publications. We've been filming commercials, doing media like this, getting me out of my my cave.
You're getting good at being on the camera, though, right?
Someone once said to me, he said, this was funny actually. He said to me years ago, he goes, "You've got a great voice for podcast. Shame about the face." And I carry that scar, man.
Especially when most podcasts are on camera now, as
I
evident. There's 3 cameras around. I think one of the things you touched on, if I can just go into a little bit as well, is you say it's easy to mimic, and people are starting to set these things up, and there is risk associated. But I think one thing I've noticed again from getting to know you guys is that, one, you have a great team, but also you have great partnerships. And what you're able to get in terms of working with contractors, reducing the cost on behalf of doing the renovations, project managing. I think an owner would struggle to do that themselves.
100%.
And if an owner went directly to a contractor, they would get their pants pulled down, sort of thing,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
And I think that's something that maybe isn't explained enough, that what you guys have in terms of your process, your infrastructure, to protect the owner. And it's a joint venture, right? You want to benefit from it as much as they do.
This is actually a really good point, and this does come up a lot. And just disclaimer, just please, contractors, brokers, please don't hate me for this. I have to say it. You're great people, but I have to say it. Like, there is an element in this model,
Yep,
that is very much owner centric.
it's for the owner for sure. Yep.
So we partner with the owner to ensure that their property is renovated to the highest possible standard and sold for more. And if the owner doesn't win, we don't win.
Yep.
At all. Like if one of us has to win, the owner wins.
Sure.
It's owner centric. And if an owner goes to do this themselves, I mean, obviously it's all about who you know and what you can handle. And obviously a contracting company will do what's in their best interest. Of course, it's a business model. There are margins. There's whatever they need. Brokers will do what's in their best interest, which is to get the property sold. Because obviously
They're motivated by the
anyone who knows the broker model knows that it is either purely commission or it's heavily commission. So fine, like that's how it works, and they're all very integral parts of society, and very grateful for them because we need them, and we work with contractors, work with brokers.
It's another form of the partnership.
100%. It's literally like contractor partnerships, broker partnerships are just the same as our owner partnerships and everything else. But you got to think about the owner. So let's just say an owner has a villa right now, which is 10 million dirhams. It's on the market. They're looking to sell. It's not a renovated property. Maybe they bought it back in, 2010s. So that their original price to the current fair market value is a fair rise. So that if they sell it, they've got a good return. But of course, there's always the potential here of how much more can be unlocked from that property. If we bring that up to today's standards, what could it sell for? Now, a broker would be incentivized to get that property sold. And if an offer comes in at 9 million, and it seems fair for what the property is, the broker will incentivize the owner to sell. I'm being very careful, by the way, don't misquote me. Be very careful. And I understand why they would do that, and I can understand why the owner would sell as well. The issue with that is that both the owner and the broker could have made a lot more money had the property been renovated.
It's an interesting way to put it.
This is so it's owner first. So you've got to I'm a strategy guy, so I'm always zooming out to look at all the moving parts.
The bigger picture. I'm
like, the owner is in the middle. Because of the owner, we are all here. Right? So owner first. Our owners are like, we love them, we'll do anything for them. Because of the owner, and because the owner owns this property in this market at this time, it has created multiple opportunities for multiple different entities. Residual, what we do is we join all the dots and we take care of everything, and we ensure that the funds are there to make this accessible to all parties and benefit everyone, with the owner being first.
Let's go on to the next section. So something people might not know is the sort of social impact stuff that yourself, Daniel and the other co-founders do outside of the office, I would say. I think it'd be good to touch base on that, because I think it does, getting to know you guys as people as well. You can tell you're all very good-hearted people, and people might see you guys again as it's an investment company, it's a property fund, for example, that renovate properties, but the people behind it are genuinely good people. And again, I feel like I can say it because I've met you guys now for quite a few times. But I think we should touch base a little bit on the sort of the societal and social impact that you guys try and do.
Well, it's funny you say it, because something that drew me in the beginning when I met Daniel McNeil, the co-founder, I was like, this is a nice guy.
Yep.
Right.
A unique character as well.
He's a British lad. He's like me, but I could just see this guy's got a good heart.
Yeah.
And you work in multiple companies, industries and clients and markets, and you meet a lot of people. You meet a lot of good people, you meet a lot of questionable people, but I was like, this guy's a good guy. And the more I got to know him and, we've become very good friends, I've had that validated for myself on multiple occasions. So something that Dan said to me is he wants, like from day one, he was like, I want us to do charitable or social impact things. Like I don't just want us to be, like a real estate investment company, which is great. And like I said, we create jobs, we create opportunities. Everyone wins. The owner wins first, which is a wonderful thing to do. But it's also, okay, what else are we doing? So one of the ideas that Dan had from day one, which we're currently now in the beta testing mode of, is an apprenticeship model. So obviously in Dubai, you have so many people moving here from all over the world. And it's a very interesting dynamic. I mean, you've been here a long time, so you've seen the whole evolution, but you got this dynamic where kids finish school.
Yep.
And then what do they go and do? So obviously some kids go off to do more academics. Nowadays they can do that here. Like the university here is really good.
Yep.
Or they go abroad, they go back home, whatever. And then they go into their careers. And often their careers that they go to do will to actually take them out of Dubai. So it will take them back home. So they might qualify as whatever, but it makes more sense to do that back home or abroad because of the job market here is massively oversupplied.
For sure. And I think initially as well, I think the entry-level jobs, to start a career in Dubai is very difficult. A lot of people move here, middle tier, middle management level, rather than that sort of entry level. So I think you hit the nail on the head. I think the only real opportunities that are here for anyone that sort of graduates university or in Dubai or comes to Dubai are sort of internships. And I'm not saying all companies do this, but a lot of companies in Dubai will offer internships where zero compensation, 12-hour days, 6 days a week. You actually end up doing sort of, very generic admin. You don't really learn anything. And not all of them are like that. There are some great companies that do employ the next generation. But I think it's interesting talking about the apprenticeship program because it's something that actually, again, as you do with the owners of the properties, whilst it's a partnership, you both benefit, you're actually looking at, rather than just trying to get cheap labor, you're actually looking to invest in the next generation that
100%.
Hopefully through, spending time with you guys, good company ethos, culture, enjoying the work they're doing, they'll stay, right? And you'll be able to build a team, a lot of those people, which will come from in-house.
Exactly. So it's like we're looking at that segment of the market, I suppose, and saying like, what do they go on to do? Because not everyone knows what they want to do when they finish school. Like it's such a old.
Still don't know.
I still feel like I kind of stumbled into most of the things I ended up doing. I've not done too bad, but like it's one of those things where not everyone knows what they want to do. Not everyone's ready to commit. Not everyone wants to leave Dubai. Like Dubai is now becoming a bit of a forever home for a lot of people.
Yeah,
like
it's
golden visas,
sure.
like. Golden visas, accessible real estate, like job opportunities, companies, funding. So we look at that and think, how can we be a part of that as well? How can we, through what we're doing at Residual.ae, create an opportunity where youngsters coming out of education, finishing school or college or whatever, can go straight into work and get exposed to lots of different exciting, departments and business models and different things. So we have an apprenticeship model which we're in the beta round of, which basically takes someone across 12 to 18 to 24 months in our company working in different departments.
Yep.
So you've got, the operations, you've got the marketing, you've got the project delivery and management, you've got the actual like real estate sales side and the lead generation, the property assessments and all of that stuff. And it takes them through this program where they get exposed to a bit of everything. And they get their hands dirty and they learn and they get to shadow and they pick things out and they get paid. They get paid as well. We pay them. And we take care of them. And through that program, they get to find out what they enjoy and what they're good at.
Which I think is difficult, right?
Yes.
I think no one really... Some people are born, they want to be a doctor. They want to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
But I think for the majority of people, and translating what you study to then what it's like in the job, in the real... I don't want to use the word real world to be condescending, but the real world.
Yeah.
It's you don't know what you like until you do it, right? No. And you need to fail a couple times or not enjoy something a couple times to then go, actually, I've really enjoyed doing this. I never thought about doing this. So I think that's a really interesting way to start a career, is by, holistically looking at an organization. What is it? Who do I like to work with? What type of characters? You just mentioned that, you clicked with Daniel pretty much straight away, right? And over time, you guys have got closer. But I think that's another part that you don't get when you join the workforce, right? You work out the type of people you want to work with, the type of people you don't get on with or you clash, which I think is important, right? Because you need a team to succeed. It's not just a one-man band.
100%. And as well, it's like you go through the program, you get exposed to different things, you get training, you work out what you're good at and what you enjoy. And I think the enjoyment is really important. And then off the back of that, if it makes sense for them and for us, there's an employment opportunity, which is not just you're being paid as an apprentice and you're kind of on a program. You actually join the company in a proper full-time position, and you grow with us. Because being a relationship-driven place, I think it's important you spend time, and also I think it's important that you give people time as well, because it's very hard to make a judgment based upon a short engagement. Sure. And if a youngster goes out into Dubai and tries to find a job, there's all kinds of hurdles. And there's one massive hurdle, which is the bachelor's degree, which is a huge thing here, which isn't so much back home in the UK. It's kind of like it's not a massive issue if you don't have a degree. It's more about what are you good at, what are you passionate about.
It's an expectation here, isn't it? For sure.
Here it can be a hurdle, and I think that will change. I'm quite positive that will change. But for some people, they just don't want to go to university for all that time, and they don't want to spend all that money or get in debt. They just want to get started on something, and they want to get busy. And we want to create opportunities for specifically for kids like that just want to go and work. They want to make money. They want to learn. They want to grow. They want to stay in Dubai. They want to be part of something exciting. And whether or not they end up staying with us, we give them the experience and the exposure to make sure that they can find their feet in this pretty exciting place. That's something we're working on. And then also we have all kinds of dreams. Dan will tell you about the animal sanctuary that he wants to open, and
he definitely will as well.
He will, 100%. And we recently we also sponsored a local boxing event, Executive Fighter. Shout out Chris Fade and the guys. They had a boxer who was taking part in the program, but lost his sponsorship before the fight.
Pretty close to fight night, right?
Yeah, I think it was like a week or two before. Yeah. So he lost his sponsorship, so it kind of meant hey, we need to get you re-sponsored, otherwise you're not going to be able to fight. And he'd been training for months. And this guy Nas, or Nasib, we call him Nas. He has he's a double cancer survivor, twice surviving.
Wow.
A phenomenal guy. Phenomenal comeback story.
Yeah.
And we just love an underdog. Dan's got the underdog story, Sam's got the underdog story, I've got the underdog story. It's kind of we love an underdog story.
There's a theme developing here.
I support Everton in football.
That is an underdog story.
You're an underdog by the definition. Dan's a Spurs fan, so yeah, we're not normally backing the winning horse. But we were like, do you know what? When we heard about him, we were like, okay, because the Chris Fade brought him on Virgin and did a shout out who wants to sponsor him. So we were like, Dan called me immediately, he's like,
make it happen.
get onto it. I had to pull a few strings. We got to the right people. We got ahead of the queue. And we sponsored him, so he got to go to his fight night. And in the build-up, he came to the office and met us and everything. And it was really, really phenomenal meeting someone who has been through and still going through so many trials and difficulties and challenges. Be so overwhelmingly positive on a macro level, like just grateful for life, grateful for the opportunity, happy he's got something to focus on, wanting to do us well. And we said to him, we're proud of you anyway.
For sure.
But then he went to fight night, and as you saw, he knocked the guy out in the first round.
What a spectacle. What a spectacle.
It was pretty insane. I just say that was cinematic how that happened. He just came out, round one, I think 20, 30 seconds in, bang, got him on the chin, and he went down. Oxygen mask on that guy, bless him. He was out. So, and I was just so happy for him. And it's moments like that. That's the kind of residual spirit that we found Nas, and we're like, you know what, this guy is a bit of residual, and there's other people out there that are a little bit of residual, and there's other things we want to do. So yeah, I suppose it's we're excited to always partner with owners and take advantage of the market, and we want to grow, and we want everyone to succeed. Like anyone with us, we want everyone to rise. So it's everyone's winning, everyone's enjoying what they do. But we also want to be in a position where we can tap into and give back to segments of society, particularly here in Dubai, but also back home as well, that are not where they want to be, or they've had a few challenges or whatever, and that's a great alignment between all the leadership team on that, for sure.
And it sounds like from this whole conversation, the one key word that keeps coming to mind is relationships.
Yeah.
Whether that's a business relationship, whether that's a personal connection relationship, whether that's supporting someone like Nas. Relationship seems to be key
100%.
in your business.
It is. We, like I said, the owners that work with us, or we work with the owners, because we partner with them. We treat them as partners. For us, nothing at all can come in the way of that relationship. And like I said, we legally securitize every facet of what we're doing, as you have to, fully regulated and everything else. But we also make sure that they're actually happy as well, because it's how happy are your customers, for example, in a company? That's always a good success measure of any company's longevity, is how happy are the customers? Because if the customers are not happy, even if you're growing and doing well on paper, at some point that unhappiness becomes a big problem, and it will seep into other things, and it's usually a company culture issue and other things. So yeah, relationships are massive, and I think that's probably my big learning from coming to Dubai as well. I've come to Dubai, I would say, at a later stage. 2024 is well into the Dubai growth. People like yourself and others have been here a long time and seen it. So, but I'd say coming here, the one big thing is relationships, credibility, and reputation. And just like it takes so long to build reputation and to build credibility, it can very, very quickly be lost. And
people don't forget either here.
They don't forget. No. And then people talk, and that's a good. Actually, that's a good thing, because you'll benefit from that knowledge at some point. And people will tell you things about others, right? So, yeah.
Perfect. So talking a little bit more, focusing on building relationships, credibility. What does that look like in 2026, and what does residual look like in 2026? You've had a big year.
Yeah.
I'm sure next year is going to be bigger.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about new initiatives? What's coming next?
Yeah. So this year was really 2024 was the tail end of that was the rebrand.
Yep.
And the reposition. This year has been going to market in the early phases of soft touch, seeing what's working in terms of the company positioning, because the model's proven. So now it's more generating the deals and refining the systems. And now we've started the PR push. So for 2026, you can just expect to see a lot more of residual. The goal for us as a company, the leading KPI is how many people know about residual in Dubai. If we can become a household name, then that is success for us. We want it to be that anyone who is selling a property in Dubai checks with residual to find out if a free renovation would make sense for them. It won't
Yep.
make sense for everyone. It
For sure.
depends upon the property, the area,
Yeah,
and everything else. We want it to be that if you hear, oh, you're selling your house, have you checked
Have you
with
done it?
residual?
Yeah, it's
Have
one
you
of the
gone there?
pillars.
Yes, because there's other companies that have that household pool. We certainly want it, and we believe that we've got a business model that works very well. We've now got a brand that's resonating very well, and we just want to keep pushing it and pumping it as far as possible to reach as many as possible. So yeah, into 2026, it will be more visual residual.
Sure.
And a lot more projects. So we, as more of these inquiries come in, we'll be taking on way more projects. We'll be going into new areas of Dubai as well. So the minute we've really started to focus on the Palm and on Sakim, Kite Beach, and there's very what we call platinum areas. But there's also a lot of areas in Dubai that we wouldn't call platinum, but are still brilliant for the renovation model. Yeah, and they're just waiting to be tapped into, and we, as of yet, have been very strategic in what areas we go and what we take on. And as we continue to grow, we'll be able to serve more and more of Dubai and unlock this model for everyone.
Cool. And further fetched, where do you see yourself going next? You're getting established in Dubai. What's next on the expansion plans, if you can say?
Yeah. That's another one. I mean, 100%. We're a Dubai brand, Dubai model, Dubai business. We all live in Dubai. We all love Dubai. But we do want to do more. So, of course, Abu Dhabi is on the list. And we've already had initial discussions and interest from projects in Abu Dhabi, which we've been looking at. We also are looking at Ras Al Khaimah,
Sure.
which, of course, is going to be one of the next big things in the UAE and the region, I think, in general. Again, had initial conversations and interest from there. There's other areas of the UAE as well, which I personally feel are very overlooked, like Fujairah, Al Quwain, and there are a lot of development projects that are coming into play in those areas, which lifts the whole area around it. So we are looking at that very closely, and the expansion plans are definitely going to be triggered at some point in 2026, going into the future, and not just the UAE, but the region in general. Like we're already looking at Saudi Arabia and a few other places,
the
like
wider GCC.
Yeah. Now they've allowed foreign ownership. I think it's kind of given us the green light, and we already had a few interests there anyway. So I have a lot of relationships in Saudi as well personally. So it's residual.ae is definitely .ae. It's like, it's not just Dubai. It's all of the UAE, and God willing, it will be the GCC. So and who knows, maybe just the whole world. I don't know.
Global expansion.
Planet Earth. The Milky Way, the old thing. We'll do Mars next. Renovate your Mars property for free. So it's exciting, and it's like I said, we want to keep growing, and we want to keep creating opportunities, creating value, and everyone wins. Because for us, it's not a win unless everyone's winning. And I know that sounds cliche, but if you were to sit with us and look at the plans and the model, you'd understand that it's everyone needs to win.
Yeah.
And we're very conscious on that. And at the top of the list is the property owner themselves. And I think if you can build a good relationship with your clients like that, essentially they're our clients. You're winning. You're doing well.
Perfect. Well, we're supposed to only take 20 minutes, and we've now got 3 minutes left. So I'm going to put you on the spot for the last 3 minutes.
Okay.
And on theme, going to ask you a question. What are 3 things that are going to happen? Not just for yourself, could be personally, but what are 3 things that are going to happen in 2026 for Residual or yourself?
Oh, okay.
And there's no prep gone into this. This is a
right.
curveball, seeing how you
Okay.
act under pressure.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, Residual 2026. I'll just say massive PR, because I can't say what and where, but you'll see it. So if you're watching this,
You won't miss it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to miss it.
Front and center, no
You'll probably come back to this to hear me say this. A massive PR, which to be revealed. So that's one for Residual. For me personally, is this a goal, or is this something that's going to happen?
Yeah, I think it's something that you want to happen in 2026, right?
Okay. So
I've put you on the spot here.
you have, yeah. I think I'd love to get my chess ELO score to like over 1,600.
Okay.
That's like a
Yeah.
personal,
It's
like
a personal
that's
goal,
a
yeah.
personal thing, which I feel like I'm on track to do. And a final one would be probably some new faces at Residual, publicly facing. You know,
Yeah.
at the minute there's obviously, you know, we have a very clean and lean team,
Tight
but
team, yeah.
there will be more faces joining and newer faces that you'll start to see publicly as well, which will help grow the brand and take it further, bring in their expertise and to the table. So yeah, I'd say massive PR, new faces, and
Your chess goal.
my chess above 1,600, 1,700 if possible.
Perfect.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Cheers.